Good afternoon to you. If you're expecting some dry weather over the next 5 days, then don't hold your breath. We may get a little bit of dry weather through tomorrow and into Friday, but the weekend promises more wet and windy weather marching in from the Atlantic. Now, the Atlantic satellite picture does show a fair amount of cloud that's moved across us over the last 24 hours, but it's the cloud further south, this clump of dark cloud over Spain and Portugal watching, because that's the next little area of low pressure which could drift up across France and eventually into some of the more southern parts of England through tomorrow. Now, that low is going to be around, I think, for much of tomorrow evening and through Friday. Lurking is out in the North Sea by that time, but it will keep a lot of cloud lurking along that east coast. Between that and the next Atlantic system, there's a weak ridge of high pressure, which means some mistiness and some frost over the nighttime hours, but also some fine dry weather during the daytime. And then come the weekend, well, through Saturday and Sunday, the next area of low pressure rattles in and brings with it a band of rain and freshens those winds up again. So we may see the winds ease off a little bit. They're very strong at the moment in the southern coastal regions, but then they start to strengthen and reach gale force at times as that next area of low pressure arrives. And unfortunately, it's going to arrive through the weekend and be with us, I think, for much of the weekend and into the early part of next week. Now, it does mean with light winds tonight, we're going to see a frost also the following night, with many inland areas seeing those temperatures drop fairly close to freezing, and the same through Friday night. But once that low pressure moves through, I think the frost becomes less of a problem as the wind comes in from the mild Atlantic. Now, we can see that we've got a lot of cloud on our radar and satellite picture here. There are some clearer skies here, and they may well move across parts of Wales and into the western part of the Midlands through the afternoon, so hopefully a little bit of brighter weather, but all in all it's rather cloudy, and we're likely to see some outbreaks of rain, especially the north of England and a good part of Scotland for the rest of today. In terms of temperatures, well, 7 to 10 degrees, that's about typical for the time of year. Still those very strong winds in the south. They will ease off, though, and hopefully, I think, overnight tonight those winds are easing, but with a problem with light winds and clearing skies of some mistiness, some fog patches, and also some frost as well, with those inland temperatures between 2 and freezing, so getting down to freezing in certain areas. And, of course, a problem if you are travelling with some mist and frost to cope with. Now, through Thursday morning, we'll see that mist gradually lift out of the way. It'll brighten up. A drier day in general, with top temperatures of 8 or 9 degrees. Friday also a little bit drier, apart from eastern parts of England, where I'll keep some outbreaks of rain, and then into the weekend, more wet and windy weather marching in from the west. That's all from me. Have a good afternoon.